is it. A historic night of rugby league comes to an end. The winners, Manly and the Sydney Roosters.
They came, they saw, they played, they won and lost. It's all been done. What do you make of it, MG? Did it reach everyone's expectations?
I had massive FOMO watching it from my lounge room on Sunday. It was a landmark day for our sport, given that 40,000 people attended the game in a foreign city, in a foreign stadium. The performance of the four teams was like finals footy. The overall reactions from the Americans on social media, some superstars, tweeting and sharing comments about how good is this game. I just think it was such a significant happening in our game. I can't remember something like it, the buzz, Mickey, probably since 1980 when Origin first came into our existence. A lot's happened to our game, both positive and negative along the way, but this has overwhelmingly been, I think, rubber stamped by all league lovers as something that they want to be at next time it happens. And you can bet your bottom dollar that all the other clubs who are watching this from afar can't wait to get their mitts on some Vegas action.
And what do the Americans make of it? What's, when we're breaking it down now, how did it affect their psyche?
Human cockfighting, they called it. They called it. They couldn't believe. They couldn't believe all the blood that was shed. They couldn't believe that these guys were playing with no helmets. They couldn't believe that these guys had no shoulder pads on, and everything that was promoted in the lead up to the game, it come to fruition because, as I said, we had four of the best fullbacks on display over this weekend, with Tommy Turbo and Latrell starting us off, and then Tedesco and Walsh, and they didn't disappoint. Every player played their part, and every administrator played their part, and every fan member played their part. So, look, it couldn't have went better. Volandis has actually called it he's the greatest achievement of his career, and this is what Volandis had to say pre-match to Fox Sports.
If we can make it here, it could be worth tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars for the game. It's not going to happen in the first 12 months or the first 2 years. We've set ourselves a goal over 5. This is the start. This is the foundation. We now have to build the house.
So this is the plan of attack, right? It's a 5-year plan.
Yep.
The first one has been done and dusted. What happens next year? Do they go back with the same teams? Do they go back with more teams? Is there a bigger build-up? What do they do to further embed the game into the American psyche?
All great questions. All very great questions. What the NRL are sweating on this morning is the ratings figures from the American Fox Sports 1, where they wanted to try and at least get 1% of that market. They said if they can get 1% of people from America watching this game, well, they've made it. But I think next year, I think Penrith and the Warriors are two teams that have been linked to start the season off. I would like to see, we do a magic round once a year, and the AFL do it as well. I think that maybe we'll get to a stage, maybe by that 5th year, when we see that the whole competition, his first round is out of Vegas. I don't know how they do it logistically, but
jeez,
this was so big. They reckon the build-up, Mickey, in the streets and stuff, they've never seen so many rugby league fans in one place, especially from like a lot of players. England had a big representation. Jamaica had people from France, had people from all around the world gathering to Allegiant Stadium to watch this festival, and it was a festival. Had that type of atmosphere. The games didn't disappoint. Well,
the games were good.
The games were great, mate. The games were semi-final-esque, and I think the players need a big pat in the back for the way they performed in their first game of the year, which was kind of, taking out the trial games and stuff. This is their first big hit out, and to do it in such an enormous ways. It's a landmark day. It's a really landmark day. It is.
Well done to everyone involved.
Yeah, amongst all the fanfare yesterday, there were a couple of gripping games, and it started off with the Seagulls taking on the Rabbitohs, and most thought that the Rabbitohs would account for the Seagulls, but Daly Cherry-Evans, Tommy Trbojevic, and in particular Luke Brooks, who's been basically lambasted most of his career and maligned, and he starred for the Manly Seagulls yesterday, Mickey, and he must have been thinking to himself, how long has this been going on for? Because he's had 10 or 12 years at the Tigers. He's come over this year with the Manly Seagulls, and he looks like a different player.
Unbelievable. Just a change of teams, a change of scenario, an injection of energy, and bang, he has lifted. You got that right. What about the other match?
The Roosters were underdogs that would take on the Broncos, who basically started really sluggishly, the Broncos, and without Flegler and Farnworth and Capewell, I don't know about their chances this year because they seem to have 2 or 3 forwards missing and they didn't have much punch. The Roosters forwards around the middle of the ruck just basically smothered them, and Tedesco was back to his perfect form. As soon as you try and bag a champion, this is what he does. He was by far the man of the match in this game yesterday, and it was just an awesome game. Roosters ended up winning. Obviously, there was a moment that marred the game with a alleged racial slur from one of the forwards from the Roosters, Spencer Leniu, at the 5'8" for the Broncos, which is ongoing. We'll find out more about that in the coming days. But look, the crowd of 40,746, today's papers, front page, back page, the Telegraph have said that they're taking a bit of a pun on the movie side of it, called it American Beauty and the greatest show on turf. It was a historic game. It was a historic day for rugby league, and the two teams in the middle of the oval did not let us down one bit.
Did you see anything from the teams to make you change your predictions for top 8? Did you see anything that you thought was really encouraging? I
thought that Broncos will be in the grand final with Penrith. I now don't think they will be. I don't think it's one performance, I know that, but if we're going purely on that yesterday, I think that both I think the 4 teams who play will all make the 8, but I don't think that the Broncos will be in the grand final. They've lost too many forwards and they've lost a star centre in Herbie Farnworth, so I'd have to rejiggle that, I think.
A lot of energy's gone into this. What happens to the teams now? They come home when? Are they on a plane today, tomorrow? When are they back? They don't play this week?
No, so they would have went out in Vegas last night in American time and had a little celebration. What could go wrong? Don't forget, they did have the commissioner's phone number, so I wonder how many times he got text.
That's right, yes.
But they'll come back. The weekend proper starts this week with Thursday, Friday night, Saturday night footy coming back, and these 4 teams have a good 10 days to get over their bumps and bruises and their jet lag, so they'll be primed for round 2.
All right, and Penrith all got home in one piece, mate, after their trip away?
Yeah, they did, mate. They all got back on last Tuesday, and they travelled to Melbourne this Friday to take on the Melbourne Storm, who have not lost a game, the first game of the year when Craig Bellamy has been their coach. So over 20 years, they've won their first game. It's going to be epic.
We'll have a crack at that, you and me. All right.